I just saw the latest headline. The latest headline has the Kardashians deleting photos that include Harry and Meghan from Kris's 70th birthday party held over the weekend in Beverly Hills. Why would they be doing this?
Yeah, I've been hitting the phones about this story. I can't get enough of it. First of all, that birthday party, if you're listening, Kris Jenner, where was our invitation? We should have been at that, or maybe not. But I was told by my insiders that nobody actually knew who invited Meghan and Harry.
What?
So everybody was sitting around the party thinking, who invited them? I don't think the Bezoses invited them.
The Bezoses hosted it, correct?
They hosted it, so it's at their house. They paid for it too. So
they paid for it.
They paid for it. They paid for the.
What did it cost?
Party.
You know, Rob?
It must have been hundreds of thousands. Just the security bill alone. Bruno Mars performed. He cost.
That's not cheap.
That's not cheap. Remember, J-Lo wanted him for her wedding to Ben, and she couldn't get him because he was $10 million, and Jennifer was like, I ain't paying that. And so he performed. Lots of security, lots of celebrities, great food. I'm assuming, and the
and if anybody ate it, they're all on Ozempic. You know, out in East Hampton, the caterers don't even bring food anymore to parties because everyone's on Ozempic. True story.
They're all on Ozempic. But I would guess if Jeff Bezos offers to host your party, do you give him a check? Do you say, Jeff, can I pay the costs? Or, well, the Kardashians didn't do that. He paid for the party. But back to our girl Meghan. So Meghan and Harry were there. Nobody realized quite why they were there. Some people thought Oprah might have invited them, but Oprah's plus one was Gayle, so it wasn't Meghan. But then we did see photographs leak out, and now they have disappeared. Poof. But let me remind you, Maureen, Meghan has a habit of doing this. Last time she was in New York, her hairdresser, her makeup guy, took a video of her getting ready for this event and posted it. Poof. It disappeared. This is coming from the Sussexes. They do not like any unapproved images out there. They really do believe, even at a party with some of the most famous people in the world, that they're the biggest stars. I think they are deliberately difficult to prove how big a stars they are. It's like when you hear rock stars saying no blue M&Ms. The Markles, the Sussexes are just a difficult pair. And so these photographs have been removed. I know the Kardashians didn't remove them. This is not a shy family. There is nothing that Kris or Kim has off the record. And so this must have come from the Sussexes.
Well, in fairness to Van Halen, who had that famous rock and roll ride or no brown M&Ms, they always said that was to make sure that everybody was reading the fine print on the contract, which I think is kind of brilliant if that is indeed the case. But this is so, okay, I absolutely believe this. It's totally on brand with them, but there is no logical through line. So you go to this party where they've let the paparazzi in to the driveway to take photos of all of the attendees. There's photography inside. So they're photographed going in and everybody knows they went, but then they want the photos from inside removed.
It's craziness. And they won't be invited back if they were indeed invited to this party. Once again, nobody knows who invited them. But yeah, I've been to some fancy Hollywood parties. When you go to a big party and there are photographers, this is not waiters with cell phones. This is not people sneaking wedding pictures from behind the cake. This is a big Hollywood party. There were at least 3-4 roaming photographers, really good photographers. The pictures are excellent quality. These are professional pictures and they're posed. These pictures are posed by cakes. They're posed by the birthday girl. They are not sneaky pictures. So the fact they were removed is a mystery. I know from my sources it came from the Sussexes. They wanted this removed. And I should point out, which I think is fascinating too, maybe this is the reason, I don't know this, but I used to work for Jessica Simpson when she was a really big star, when she was just getting divorced from Nick Lachey. Jessica was on the cover of all the magazines, and Joe Simpson, her dad, realized that if he took the photographs of Jessica, he would make money, a lot of money. And so maybe the Sussexes are controlling their image so that only they can make money from these pictures and not the Kardashians. We know they're cheap. We know they're very, very concerned about money. But otherwise, I don't have a good explanation of why these. We've seen the pictures. They're out. They look great. They look great. I don't know why they're not picking their noses. They're not covered in cocaine and crazy drugs. They look great.
If only. Get interesting, you two. You know, by the way, to your point about the photographers at parties like this, these are high-end photographers carrying, like, they have little lighting attached to their job is to make you look great. Everybody's supposed to look great. It all redounds to everybody's benefit. Number two, who's your scene stealer back there? Your little dog just made a leap.
Darby, he's a big fan of your show.
Oh, well, he seems adorable.
He's adorable.
So my theory about Meghan and Harry making yet another just onerous demand, like they just can't even get invited to a party and go. I have two theories. Number one, I think there's some sort of quid pro quo going on with Kris Jenner. I think Kris got Meghan into the Balenciaga show, and I think Kris wants Harry, the big fish, around her little fetid pool. Number two, I wonder if Harry is really feeling the metaphorical boot on his neck with everything that's been going down with Andrew. I mean, Andrew's situation is only getting more and more dire and bleak to the point where he may have to flee the country. And I wonder if in his desperation to somehow get purchase back within the royal fold, he is realizing what utter mistakes they're making. The Kardashians.
I have a third theory. Can I jump in?
Please do.
Theory. So while they were partying with the Kardashians, his brother and his father were laying reefs at the unknown soldier in Britain. And I think that's also part of the problem here. They shouldn't have been at that party on that date. It's a very bad look, the split screen of the service that his family is doing, and yet how much of a Hollywood star he's becoming on the other side of the screen. It is alarming, but also too, the backlash from this, if he ever wants to go back, he's hinting at that a little bit. He's got to win back the public, and partying, being out with the Kardashians while his father's honoring the fallen soldiers is outrageous. However, we know, Maureen, we've done this a long time. It's a bad story, but once you've got a photograph, it's really bad. And these photographs of him just having a swell old time, no security around him. Remember all those moans that he was worried about Meghan and security. And so they clearly lived this amazing life. They did party hop too. Sources tell me before that party, they went to Jessica Alba's party. She had a fundraiser. Yeah, they did two parties in one night. So they went to a party before that, and then they party hopped over to Kris Jenner's.
And you're so right about that. And he's such an idiot wearing that Remembrance Day poppy to Kris Jenner's birthday party, her 007 themed birthday party. Her daughter's arriving like oiled up in body makeup and like squeezed into beaded gown. Like it's just, and then Meghan saying she would have worn one, but she couldn't source one, even though they're all over Amazon. And the host happens to own Amazon, founder.
Do you want a little bit of scooper from the party that I love?
Please, I do.
Well, insiders tell me that Meghan has got the acting bug back. She's just returned to acting, playing herself. She missed it desperately. This is something that she thinks she can excel at after really not being terribly successful. And do you know the part
she only was a bit player for her entire
She was always been a bit player, but she feels like now's her moment. We saw Harry pitch Disney at the Lion King premiere in London to get her a job on Disney. Guess who owns the rights to James Bond? Amazon. Jeff Bezos has bought James Bond 007. She was there auditioning to be a Bond girl. That's what my sources are telling me. Meghan walked in and she wants to be a Bond girl, and she thought if she pitched it, she goes right to the top, Meghan, if she went right to Jeff Bezos. And this is crazy, but there's actually some chance that this could happen. Jeff Bezos is now in charge. He can pick who is Bond. He can pick who is a Bond girl. Maybe it's going to be Lauren Sanchez. Maybe
not
Meghan
so
Markle.
fast, Mar. Rob, I've got a theory for you. Okay, so I like it. I like it. Meghan like auditioning to be a middle-aged Bond girl, like because really, what screams like sex pot than like the domestic maiden of With Love, Meghan, right? Like pick a lane, lady. pick a lane. But she's going to have to compete with a fellow dead-eyed wannabe actress megastar, Kim Kardashian, who is 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. All's fair, the Ryan Murphy. And all anybody could talk about is how dead inside Kim Kardashian seems to be.
It's just awful. But these people keep failing up. We're going to talk a year from now when the Bond movie is announced, Maureen. I think that they weren't the only two people at that party that were auditioning for this role. Everybody that went to the wedding, Sydney McSweeney, who was at the wedding, she wants to be a Bond girl.
That's a Bond girl.
That's a Bond girl. But I'm told they were all there looking at Jeff, trying to get this role. And maybe that's why there was a little bit of friction between the Kardashians and the Sussexes. And maybe that's why the photographs were removed.
Funny. This is such great stuff. Before we move off Harry and Meghan, one other question. Are you hearing anything about she posted on Instagram the other day, oh, my holiday Netflix special is dropping on December 3rd. And then I went right over to the Instagram account for Netflix, and there was no mention at all about this.
They are scratching their heads at Netflix, and this is one of the reasons Meghan is having such a difficult time with this contract. It's not only about the product. It's very important to produce stuff that people like, but it's also important within an institution like Netflix to fit in. We've all worked for big companies. They do not like a loose cannon. You can pretend to be a loose cannon. You can pretend to be a loose cannon on The Real Housewives, but when it comes to messing with Bravo, if you mess with the company, you're off the show. That is the truth of pretty much every large company. Meghan's a loose cannon. She puts out press releases. She puts out statements. They're scrambling to catch up, and it's just not worth it for them. This is another nail in her Netflix coffin.
It's been over 16 years since the federal minimum wage was raised to $7.25. Company productivity in that time has doubled. Has your wallet? 1 in 5 Americans can't even qualify for a basic credit card. The system is broken. We all know it. And everyone deserves access to decent housing, transportation, and financial stability. That's where Kickoff comes in. Kickoff helps you build credit fast with affordable plans starting at just $5 per month. No hidden fees, no interest, just on-time payments that get reported to credit bureaus and help you grow your score. Users with credit scores under 600 points saw an average increase of 84 points in their first year. With premium plans, you can even build credit with the rent you're already paying. Only positive payments get reported. It is so easy to get started. You sign up in minutes from your phone. No credit check, no hassle. Over 1 million users and hundreds of thousands of 5-star reviews make Kickoff the #1 credit builder on the App Store. Start building credit today and get your first month for just $1 at getkickoff.com/Maureen. That's getkickoff.com/Maureen. You must sign up via getkickoff.com/Maureen to activate this offer. The offer applies to new Kickoff customers first month only. It's subject to approval, offer subject to change, average first year credit score, impact of positive 84 points, Vantage score 3.0 between January 2023 and January 2024 for Kickoff credit account users who started with a score below 600, who paid on time, and who had no delinquencies or collections added to their credit.